Everybody's joined. We are live, I believe. So just checking how many people joining on the webinar right now. Some people already. Hi. So don't hesitate. Say hi on chat message. We want to know where about in the world you are and from which organization, so we can help you during this presentation a little bit more and align our discussion more towards your need, guys. So let's wait. 14 people right now and growing. Brilliant. So I think we can start. So hello and officially welcome to this webinar, which is titled Metaverse Academy, Training to Build the Knowledge Metaverse. And even though the title sounds serious, we want to talk about the practical things from the low and high level of organizational structure, how to apply modern technologies in collaboration and partnership with EON. So today, my name is Marcin Kasica, and with me I have three of my colleagues from EON Reality. We have Rina Wolzinger, Jamie Justice, and John Green. Hi guys.
Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Hello.
All right. Hello. So we all know microphones and speakers working. That's good. So the technical glitches we have behind us, and I see here people also joining. So when you will see my head moving around, it's not that I want to face you. It's just I also check what's going on the chat. So few things at the beginning from a housekeeping point of view, guys, and that's for everyone who's joining us from different parts of the world. So we are part of the customer success management team at EON Reality. Probably you know some of us already from various conversations, discussion, implementation meeting. And this webinar is mainly targeting you because you are already a partner in some sort of partnership formats with EON Reality. We schedule approximately 1 hour for this webinar. I believe the best will be to try to, even though I talk a lot, try to stick to 45 minutes and maybe leave some time for your questions and discussions, because that's, I think, it's a very valuable format of collaboration. So do not hesitate to, in the meantime, there is a chat window. Please post the questions, the discussion topics, any concerns you have. I think it will be really good to, and myself and my colleagues, we will be looking into them and either reply verbally or write down the answer, or worst case scenario, get back to you on your questions after the webinar is completed. Very often we have a question, okay, guys, this is interesting, but are you recording it? Can we watch it later? So yes, we fully understand that not everybody can focus their attention at this time of a day. So this meeting is being recorded and will be shared with you after this webinar will be completed. And we're planning also to use more of the different engagement sessions to discuss about this topic. So it will be shared for sure. With that, let's begin, and let's go into those Metaverse Academy, what this whole thing is. How does the EON Reality as a company work around this program? So many of you know EON Reality long enough to know that we have more than 20 years of experience initially on the virtual reality market. Then, of course, when virtual reality also was joined by the augmented reality technologies and they become popular, we also went through that, working with partners from various sectors, supporting them in and developing a business as a company from a software company towards the services, toward right now software as a service SaaS company, and providing the EON XR platform. And alongside with our business model growth, change, and evolution, we also recognize the need for working with the partners and sharing the knowledge, learn from the partners, and at the same time share the knowledge. Initially, it was purely about how to set up technical elements, how to set up the systems that we were providing in the past. later on training on the software application and content creation because the need in the market demanded that, and eventually building the whole training program on how to create the content, customized content and the bespoke type content on the VR, AR, and mixed reality and extended reality solution. Right now, with the growth and the need and massive importance of the easy to use solutions like EON XR, as for example, that allowing people utilize mobile devices and developed experiences, virtual augmented metaverse experiences extremely quick. We're recognizing that need and we're changing the existing training formats from the VR Innovation Academy to the something which we called EON Reality Metaverse Academy. So it's a new training program. It's an evolution of a lengthy and time-consuming program for developers with lots of advanced elements towards keeping what's necessary, keeping those good practices that we learn in the years behind us, and concentrating on how to bring people closer to the market and how to build up the metaverse of the future. So with that, we rebranded. We have right now our new name, EON Metaverse Academy. So that's the topic of today's webinar. We want to present you information about what the Academy is, what are the elements, how to start with the Academy, and answer the most important question: what, how, why, and when. And that's what we have here together. And with that, I want to just as an introductory say that the Metaverse Academy, of course, is about demonstrating the latest solutions, as you guys can see, and supports still staying within the vision and mission of EON Reality, believing that the knowledge is a human right, and providing our partners and collaborative institutions and your partners, because you have your local market best with those knowledge, both to how to use the knowledge transfer in the enterprise and educational sectors. This training program has been designed and tailored to present good practices in engagement of the students, markets, and the educators, engagement into the marketing activities, building the business in the areas as well, and also not forgetting about the discovering and applying innovation within the technologies and within the needs that exist. And this training also will provide a fundamental knowledge and eventually skills about the process of XR content development and developing XR experiences with the platform, but not only with EON solution. It's also much more wider approach to build that skills and competences in regards to the XR market growing, changing, and all the time evolving the market. And last but not least, to mention in here that this program is also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to engage more and build a closer relationship between us and you as a partners, build up the closer relationship between your local organization, students, within this topic of innovative business opportunities and building up next level of organization. So it's one of the steps towards going into this famous word right now, metaverse, and what is the metaverse? And we will have partly that discussion coming up during this webinar as well. It's partly depends on us. So we believe that this is one of the steps to go to defining and utilizing metaverse in a positive and constructive form. I haven't mentioned that, but today we have. I mean, it's not supposed to be the monologue. So I want all my colleagues to be involved. I want all the participants to be involved in here. But also, I would like to kind of maybe, Marina, start with you and then discuss a little bit about it. Why this kind of a training? Why this kind of metaverse, knowledge metaverse?
Thanks so much, Marcin, and welcome everybody. We already had a question about, EON XR is a platform. The Knowledge Metaverse is about learning and really preparing for the metaverse. So let's talk about that for a second. This reminds me of a lot about the time when the internet was created. And actually, I remember going to some fundraising events, and I didn't understand the difference between having a new product versus having something on the internet. I thought, the internet, why would people fund it? Well, boy, was I wrong. People funded the internet. It took over business. It took over a lot of things in education. It changed the way that we do things. And I see this as the next evolution of that major change. And so I've realized, even just looking around me at schools, at businesses, at commercials, at major industry, this is everywhere. And so, our goal here is to help our partners prepare for this changing world and to be prepared. And we see this every day. The changing is happening very quickly. There's programs just coming up in schools everywhere. And so what is the Knowledge Metaverse? It's really the next evolution of experience, different experience in a digital environment. So environments, models, we've been preparing for this for a long time here at EON. And it's expanding with the ability with faster computers and faster graphics to have environments, models, several models together, interacting with avatars. And so it's just, it's one of the biggest things that will probably happen in the rest of my lifetime is this change, this digital change. And so with the Metaverse Academy, we look at all the different aspects of business, education, and technology in terms of preparing our partners for this world.
Absolutely, and exactly on that partnership. So that leads to the fact that right now, EON Reality, as you guys probably are aware, have lots of different programs, and those are the Knowledge Metaverse grant programs. And within those programs, we targeting, or we're building the audience for the metaverse in your organization. And so this training, specifically EON Reality Metaverse Academy, is the offering right now that is a complementary offering to the existing collaboration within this Knowledge Metaverse program. So EON Reality provides that to the existing partner within the format of a GGP, grant guarantee programs, as well as within the new engagements. And then that's why you guys been invited to that. So who is the target? In a way, it's from a partnership, from a top level, it's your organization, universities, colleges, private partnership, private-public partnership organization, different local governments. Those are our top-level target audiences. But from a program point of view, it's more directed towards the students and also staff of your organizations, of your collaborative organization, to making sure that we get you guys together with us engage more into this rollout of the XR technology in the enterprise, in the education, in those two words, and making this actually work, making this really effective, and making the change. And as Rina mentioned, is the years of experience in the business and changing markets all the time that we, on one hand, we shape, on the other hand, we follow as well, because we look what's happening around the world right now. It's also, this training is also targeting people who are interested, eager to learn more about the entrepreneurship spirit. So it's also as an evolution from a previous trainings that we have, going into the more understanding what metaverse. It's a vision, it's a plan, but it's also a business on one hand, and the partnerships that we're building are also to find some sort of benefits from the technologies, from all of those activities. And so we're looking for those young, usually young, but young with a mind, I would say, people who are interested into the new technologies. They do not have to have to answer the question about their prerequisites. Those people who will be joining the academy, joining this training program, they don't have to have a specific technical skills. And that's not necessary, because it has been prepared in such a way to grow together with the competencies of those who will participate. So the program adapts to the needs, and the base. We also, the modular structure, which we will discuss later, also adapts to the discovery aspects and self-directed format. So as I said here, it is a training that has a modular structure, That means your participants, and we need also your help with after this webinar, within the implementation process, to make this Metaverse Academy part of your programs, and becoming also not only EON's program, but also your program, guys. And we build it in a modular structure. So what we're showing today, treat it also as a one of the versions that we want to, using the analogy to Deming's wheel, improve and work towards the necessary changes in the backgrounds, localization, local market localization, and your needs as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, so, I get a lot of questions from, faculty kind of thinking about this, and schools and administrators, like, what's it going to be like to work in the future? And how do we prepare students? What are the new skills? What are the competencies? And really, as our team here working in this every day, it's an amazing change, right? The way that leadership and communication is done, in the workplace, and it's changing so fast. And so just bringing in, how that works in business and in the future, because I really don't see the world kind of being governed by PowerPoint, for example, in the future, but meeting students where they are in 3D space and immersive environments with all of this new technology. So,
yeah, absolutely. And together, as we are here joining this webinar from EON's side, we sat together and we thought, okay, how do we do this training to enable it to everyone? And the idea was, of course, to not reinvent the wheel and provide something that is easy to adapt within the existing organizations. There's something that will be attractive from a point of view of students and organization, and will be adaptive as well. That's why we came with a 100% online training format. So this training program, it's 100% online, which, as we all know, we're living in a time that the online education is in some cases the only possible way to move forward. And so that's already utilizing those experiences of the past two years plus, and learning how it is to exist in a digital space as images on the webinars or on the video conferences, but making it interested, making a difference. So it's not just a passive kind of training, but we are utilizing all those things that we mentioned in our educator courses and other courses, how to do the change and get more people excited about the topics that we teach. So that's why we also went to the idea that this has to be adapted to the individual needs of individual participants. So even though it's going to be a structured training program, it has its focus on the self-discipline, self-directed learning, with based on this modular structure and within the academy. It is easy to enroll, so removing all of the challenges related to enroll. So we says, okay, we're going to use LMS, learning management system. Every educational institution practically use one way or another some learning management solutions. Well, right now we decided to go with the Canvas and providing it as a Canvas based learning management solution. But it doesn't have to be only like that. Just to maybe anticipate some potential question, can it be on the other ones? Absolutely. But right now we do believe that the best experience right now will be from our perspective using Canvas. And we also understand that we're living in a time when this knowledge race requires people to multitasking, to do lots of things in the same time, yes? And I don't know if you guys agree, but I think the part-time format is the one to that gives us a possibility to gain more attendance from the students and ability to follow existing courses that they already have at your organization, and in the same time learn something new in here. And moving on, and of course, it's a training course, so we want to be sure, of course, that we recognize that we provide the certification, but the certification has to be based, of course, on some grounds. So utilizing the educational practices, we also incorporated in the training a formal assessment process to make sure it's not necessarily to judge the students, not necessarily to grade the students, but to give them ability to self-develop based on the feedback, based on their progress, and seeing the progress and being recognized for that progress. That's why we can say within this whole program we have multiple courses, modular structure, and various learning activities assessment. Rena, you're going to be talking about them more, yeah?
Yes, I will be.
And last but not least, when we're going to go to that it is not only a knowledge that is delivered via learning management system, but it's also a very important component into this training program called PBL, project-based learning. So experimental and practical learning without the risk of failing in a way, but with the opportunity to gain and learn more by collaborating within the various organizations with our support, with our guidance. So we're moving ourselves in that stage. On the back, we are just whispering the good ideas, hopefully good ideas, to the students and trying to put them into the right track to making sure that within the metaverse development, it's covered. So I mentioned a lot of those things here already about the modular structure of the academy. So let's maybe go more into the details. How practically does this training looks like? And Rena developed is a course leader. Jamie is a course leader. John is course leader. We have also more of the team members that I want to say thank you already for developing, and I'm of course looking for the new development. So all of those who been involved, they will be working constantly on improving this format. But right now we thought about this. We're doing a first modules, first courses. One is called XR01, and we will use the continuous naming just for easy collaboration communication process. So we're starting with introduction to the technologies and the metaverse itself. And I will talk about it in a moment later. And within that introductory part, we also have something, the core elements, correct, Rena? Yes. So that's the platform trainings. So there are those learn, train, perform, collaborate. So you will be able to talk a little bit more about those, please, yeah?
I'll be going in depth into those in a minute when I get to the XR2 course.
Brilliant, thank you. So then we also believe that there is a different pathways that those people who will, and I've seen the introductory part, we believe it's for everybody. And we strongly recommend that the faculty members, staff members, students, workers at your organizations, if you are invested already in EON XR, if you're invested in the XR technology in general, if you're looking for the ways to utilizing this technology and make it better and effective use, I think that's an introductory part is definitely for you. Then we're going into those nitty-gritty parts of the development part and the daily operation related to the entrepreneurship, idea generation, application discussions with the partners within the business. So that's what for we have various courses. We call them vocational. They are more specialized and more advanced into the content, but also bringing us closer to this understanding full metaverse ecosystem. So our team of developers together right now working on the final elements of the software development course, which utilizing solutions based on the example of the developing EON XR platform, but using that as an example, what are the components of the software development needs in the XR market? We have courses, and John, you leading that on the customer success, right?
That's right, Marcin. Focusing specifically on that client interaction, user interaction, how we work with our customers, how we work with institutions participating in this metaverse experience. And I'll be going in depth in terms of those modules that are related to the customer success journey and how we interact with users in these modalities. So I'll be focusing on that.
Yeah, thank you, John. And Jamie, maybe you can say, before you're going to go into the details, just a little bit about the XR08.
So in Module 8, we're looking at innovation, talent development, and change management strategies. So we want to help individuals who have this requisite set of skills help others find those places where the technology fits into their curriculum and their teaching and learning process. And so we share in this module a lot of activities to help you develop those talents, change management strategies, and ultimately a plan to help you more effectively integrate this into your curriculum. So that's our focus with the innovation piece.
So those are the things that we have in the first instance on that. And and there are still some of the elements that we are on the development. They are not yet 100% incorporated into the training program, but we do understand the need of, and there are plenty of questions on workshops, on trainings. How does it apply for that market? How does it, and even discussing a difficult type markets, how can I reach and penetrate the markets that are not yet being, let's say, first idea saying this is XR which can be applied. We know XR has application in various markets, and practically it will be like a video, television, and internet. And there is practically no business, no organization, no institution that cannot live without those achievement of the technology. And we believe the same thing is with the XR is just one of the element of the jigsaw into building the digital society. And for those, we have those 3 other courses that we're still developing. One will be on the market lead generation and building a knowledge about the market, marketing activities related to the XR market, and the developing business itself related to the collaboration and building up partnerships, and also business from a monetization point of view. So financial aspects as well. So all of those is the core element, which we can say that the general knowledge. So the first elements are the general knowledge components, and that's the core. But after that, we do recognize that there is a need of experience and the needs of being able to practice those ideas and validate them and gain the necessary experience. Because we all know when somebody finished university, and we had a very nice discussion before this webinar about when do you guys think the XR or Metaverse will be part of the, correct, John, part of the official curricula of the universities? And we will go to this discussion. I think it's a good opportunity to do that. But I think the idea here is also going through the project-based learning through the practical application of those, and following, shadowing, and having a voice within the different aspects, and becoming better for those individuals who will join in the sector. So either product development, understanding more in detail, being part of this movement, having a say how those products should develop, business development and the marketing, as well as the customer success. Okay, so with that, I think it's time to go maybe a little bit more in depth for those into those how we want to do it, right?
Sure. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the curriculum and how we developed it. And I just wanted to say it's developed by our expert team of curriculum developers and design, and also our certification in Canvas. And Canvas allows us to put the curriculum kind of in order, and it lets you do things in the proper order. So that really helps students to stay organized and all the way through the different various aspects of each module. So each module has like an introductory area, and we have personalized it as well. And again, we can work with you if you wanted to personalize it further, but we all wanted to have like our own voice in there. So we have video content in that introduction, historical things. And we have a large section on presentation, which is really the pedagogical aspects of each module. So, for example, there's a lot of things about the metaverse, but there's a lot of things about, just learning about the whole vernacular with augmented reality, virtual reality. If it's marketing, then you'd be learning about marketing terms or business. So, and then we have practice, which is really important. So there's different readings, and there are scholarly articles, there are assignments, and then we do get involved in reviewing those and giving comments as well. And so each course has the same structure, so that whatever module you're doing, you open it up and you see the familiar headings and the flow through of those courses, and it's same as with the assignment. So it's familiar in each module, but different content. And then we realize, since the metaverse is changing quickly, that we will be doing constant improvement, there's a lot of changes in technology as well as even just graphical capabilities. And so we'll be expanding this and making the changes just along, hopefully just ahead of the way the world is changing in there. And so you'll see things changing, and we'll be putting announcements about updates to the curriculum as well. Marcin, you're muted.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm my the most common question, the most common phrase on the webinars. Yeah, you muted.
Right.
Now, guys, so let's go through all different courses. So I'm going to start with this first course within the academy called Introduction to the XR Technologies and the Metaverse. And we have, of course, outlined and prepare it for within a specific learning objective, learning activities. All of that has been already mentioned as Rina articulated that. And this first one is to introduce, to get people understanding what is the market, what is the solution, what are the solutions from a historical point of view to the existing. So let me just pull up right now, instead of, this is an example of learning management solutions that we have developed, and I will be going for you guys also with the other modules here. So each of the course existing as individual unit, but each of the course has its own organized structure. And within the first module, XR01, which is designed for approximately 1 week, as we said, and so the whole training, the first phase is designed for about 12 weeks, but in the module XR01 is around the 1 week, and the other one will be also mentioned. So we're going through the introduction, we're going through the definition, we're going through the understanding, common understanding. So it's not purely academical type science, even though it's related to that. It has the necessary reference, literature, biography, and linkage with the existing historical approaches, but it's also going through the more pragmatic and practical common understanding of the technologies. Going through the markets, different markets from a historical point of view, we will also highlight lots of different examples. How in EON's 20 plus history, we've been working with different markets, and we recognize their specific needs for instant needs in how the XR technology, and right now more towards the metaverse, can and should be applied with that. Going through the different modalities of human-computer interaction, because it's a new paradigm as well. So in that case, making sure that within this training, we'll go of what it takes to shift your perception going further, and not only, of course, from the textbooks, from the typical solution, but opening to, of course, the mobile and other solutions that are already existing. And right now, our main modality of human-computer interaction is a finger on the screen. But going towards more natural ones that are already existing in the VR, AR, and XR technologies, including the haptics, the gesture recognition, understanding. And last but not least, there is some sort of assessment process as well built into it. So there will be some investigative reports. There are topics that the students will be assigned to work alongside and present it, and also do a peer sharing as well on those elements, which is another extra aspect of learning outcome of this module, as well as some quizzes. So that is in essence the first module, and as we're going to go, I will be, of course, showcasing the other ones. So that's XR, Introduction to the XR Technologies and Metaverse. So Rina, over to you maybe to talk a little bit more.
So the platform training is a 2 week. It's expected to take 2 weeks. It's, I believe now 11 modules long. Yes, it's 11 modules long. And you can maybe bring that up. There we go. So again, looking familiar with the module 01, this is 02, and it starts with just introduction to the platform, like, just the basic things about it, and about the entire course of learning objectives and content, and then going through just kind of how to download it and the basic things about the course, and then all the different parts of the platform we're going to be covering. Then we get right into the meat of it with module 2, which goes into how licenses work, and just in general around technology software, how licenses work, and in different environments, whether it's in the LMS or it's outside of the LMS, And in these technologies, what's different is that you can use it on so many different platforms. So how that all works, applications, and then working on some administrative functions. And all of you who manage software knows that's a big role, assigning licenses and all the back end things that you do for user management, and how that works as users change and move over configurations and settings. And then I talk about, we learn about the marketplace. And so basically that's about app interaction and things working together. Module 3 goes over really about the metaverse and pedagogy concepts, scholarly concepts in the metaverse, how that is different from learning in different modalities. And then some history on the road to the metaverse. And it goes through the evolution up till today. And that's one section that we'll probably be updating along the way. And then really practicing what is metaverse like? How do you design instruction using metaverse concepts, immersive materials? And how can you do that with students? And so there's a section called design briefs. Some of you are familiar with. Module 4, then we start getting into the meat of it. This is creating 3D lessons. What does that involve? What are the different aspects of it? What are the different features? How do you teach in 3D? What kind of content can you add? What kind of knowledge? And then we get into assignments. So where you build your own 3D environment, and then we grade and give feedback into that for continuous improvement. The next module, 05, is creating 360 experiences and all the different ways to do that with cameras, with phones, with tablets, different things, and creating that. Why do we do it? How do different people do it? And then how do you include that in learning? The next module is about scanning. So how do you use scanners to increase the ways that you can teach and increase the ways that you can share content that maybe is not available in other ways, or really small content, really large content, content around the world. This is a big one because building the metaverse does involve a lot of scanning. And there's a lot of international content that is being creating every day with scanning. So we talk about how that's happening, and then you do a project using your own scans. And then module 7 is about augmented reality, which is really the biggest use of technology in the metaverse, bringing items where you are in real space and real dimensions. So walking around in large one-to-one scale models, and then there's an assignment that you create there. Module 8 is about spatial meetings with a lot of examples, meeting colleagues, other students, colleagues, business people in spatial meetings, and why that's becoming different. The evolution of avatars is going to be part of that, and then practicing with spatial meetings. Then a big topic about geometry. So what types of geometries, assets, file types, so that's more of a technical module, are involved in bringing content back and forth and between different types of softwares, and bringing it into EON as well. Different marketplaces that are compatible, which is, again, always changing. And then the last 2 modules are about sample assignments. How do you do assignment construction, including the pedagogy, the student learning outcomes, program outcomes, institutional outcomes, and those lessons, and then how to get students creating content and really adding to the metaverse environment.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So what we will go right now, just to quickly here. So actually, I will talk about the XR03 in a moment, but let's maybe, while we have you, John, also online, maybe let's focus on XR07 first, please.
Absolutely. So this is focusing on the customer success department and how we work together as a team, and how we conduct that knowledge transfer, and how we conduct training. And this will go through 5 different modules, as Marcin is showing here. And you start out with the first module, which is how to demonstrate the solution. Imagine you working with different institutions and you want to show another institution or the departments within your program the XR solutions. So the first module, you get to familiar with how to present our XR solutions on a mobile device, on the desktop. You'll be able to put a demo together and send that to us. The Second part is focusing on what we call the client journey. There's a process that the way we implement. We start out with a project management team working together with those institutions. Each team has their unique roles and profiles, and how we work with other institutions, how we put together an implementation plan. All these modules will have hands-on activities where you'll submit your own plan, you'll conduct an evaluation on certain plans, just getting you this experience on putting together an implementation program and advancing that forward. The third module is setting around XR training. This is a big part of the client success department, conducting that knowledge transfer, getting the institution familiar with all our tools and how to use it. So I'll be focusing on the different steps we take on how to set up this educator course, and also how you're going to evaluate a course. In every educator course, participants submit their own lessons, so you'll be able to have an exercise where you evaluate sample lessons and go through certain activities, open up the platform. So another hands-on activity there. Also, the third module there is what we call the needs assessment. This is where you'll get an experience in terms of working with customers really to understand their needs. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're trying to inject knowledge, XR experiences into curriculum that already exist. So we have an exercise called a curriculum crosswalk. You'll be able to get an actual live curriculum and go through a crosswalk and see how you can insert XR experiences within the platform. So another fun activity. And at the end there, you also have the ability to evaluate what we call XR adoption. How are the institutions doing? We have an assortment of reporting tools and evaluation graphs. So you can see the success of the department and how the different users are utilizing these XR experiences. User behavior, what are they doing within these lessons, and how can you take this data and propose creative solutions to further expand that adoption of the XR solutions. So once again, all these modules really focus on that client success department and the activities that we do to help institutions understand the platform, how they can implement it in specific departments, and then how we work together with these institutions to expand and understand different ways we can utilize these programs in other departments. So again, this will take about a week. You'll have an assessment of quiz types. You'll have some videos you submit. So you'll have a good overall view and experience and what a client success department does, specifically at EON, within these XR experiences and within the Metaverse experience.
Thank you very much, John. So over to you, Jamie.
Okay, thank you, Martin. So essentially what the innovation leadership focuses on, that the future is here, but the focus of this is kind of a lightened mashup of a variety of creative problem-solving techniques, design thinking, change management strategies, appreciative inquiry, and other techniques that have evolved from some successful workshops we've done in the past called Think Shops and Innovative Educator Academies. And Marshall, if you'll share the course, I'll kind of touch on what will happen here. And so basically, we begin first with developing that innovative mindset, that place of where we start thinking differently about the way that we use technology to improve the teaching and learning process and how we better engage students for engagement, for success, retention, and so forth. And we begin with some exercises using the Keirsey temperament sorter and some of those types of things to help determine temperaments and really your thoughts as an innovation leader on how you may help your faculty, your students, and others see where this really fits into that teaching and learning process. In Module 2, we begin with the Situation Analysis Lab, which is a methodology where we often look for the elephant in the room, to coin an old cliche, to try to find those places where we could use the XR metaverse to solve some challenges and problems that we have as an institution, whoever your institution or organization may be. So we'll do situation analysis, and ultimately we'll build a challenge statement, which is a unique process where you develop a statement of 7 words plus or minus 2 that can help others throw ideas at solving that problem. And so we start thinking about innovative ways that you can use XR to change the way that things are done. From that module, we progress on to the next module, which will focus on the idea piece, those new ways of doing things. And we'll introduce topics here also on change management. there are 4 parts to a change management strategy. First, you have to realize that change needs to happen. Secondly, you have to develop an inclination to do something about it. Thirdly, you have to apply all the resources that you have. And then lastly, most important of all, is you have to implement the changes once you come up with it. So one of the outcomes from the last module here will be that your capstone project will be to put together an implementation plan for how you can use the XR metaverse within your institution, within your program, within even standalone kinds of operations. So it's very iterative. It's very wide open as far as design and what you come up with as a result of completing this module. But I think you'll find it to be an exciting, engaging way to where you can take a moment to sit back and think strategically about how you can use the XR metaverse to improve your teaching and learning process and experiences, and overall the student experience of retention, engagement, and student success. And that's what our focus is with this particular course. And I'll turn it back over to you, Marshall.
Thank you very much. So I'm already kind of checking no muted. Okay. So I already see there are some questions. So actually good, because we will be answering the question about how long it takes in a second. So just to overview. So there are already on the XR03, that's a module which lots of you probably looking into and how to engage the students. So it's about a software development, utilization. We're going to use different kind of examples. And EON Reality, our solution, are just an examples in this whole equation. Same, likewise, in this module, we will use the existing methodologies and methods used by the software development teams to create XR solutions. So we will go over the elements of the development with the Scrum methodology, Agile methodology, version control, as well as integration in the integrative design environments. We will go over the programmatic solutions with the Unity and integration, everything with as an example of a game engine that can be used to develop the metaverse experiences, going through the architecture, example of EON's architecture, dissecting that platform and explaining some of the elements, how they are built, what are the skills needed to create it. So that's the purpose of a 2 weeks duration of XR03, which we will be delivering. And as I mentioned before, Arena already have in the XR02 lots of elements related to the 3D, but we recognizing the need that also there is a need of a content. Lots of you saying, okay, we need a content formats. And so we showcasing how the content could be created from scratch, how the content could be utilize where is it here, where the content could be utilized from the existing one, how it could be created, how it could be optimized, utilizing various kind of sources. So it's evolution in a sense of a next step into the recognition of what's needed to build complex 3D elements. And partly of that's Adam Bladowski, who's leader in here, and he will be providing more information also on some future webinars. And some other courses also to be developed. Because of the time constraint, I would like to kind of go over those questions that also coming up right now, and we have approximately 12 minutes. So the clock is a good icon here. And so the core course, knowing them based on the experience, we designed the full course to have 12 weeks for the first phase. Currently, we have filled 8 weeks, the few business courses, as mentioned before, and marketing courses to fill the 12 weeks format for the first phase, and the project-based learning for another 12 weeks. 12 weeks, why 12 weeks? And because we believe that's the right kind of amount of the time to follow the necessary elements. And it's also pretty much aligned with the usual amount of the time that students spend during the semesters. So it could be very nicely fit to your organizational formats of a 12 weeks plus and rolling out, so the students can do it side by side with existing courses. So that's per the duration. That's how we design it. We're flexible. We will recognize it. It also depends on those aspects.
So this next slide, and it goes to one of the questions, and I'll let Martin answer, but the training materials includes a lot of materials, video slides, scholarly articles, links, current things on the internet, a lot of demo experiences. It definitely links to the library and 3D content, immersive models and environments. And then we do assessments in there, whether it's creating your own immersive experiences and sharing quizzes, task reports. and then we do review those and provide feedback as well. But I thought, Martin, maybe you can comment about, April had a question if there's digital assets, libraries that sync to Blackboard, other LMS. Yeah.
So of course, one thing is of course that there will be materials that you have like a readouts, watch. We do recognize what is the way to learn, and we recognize that when we teach that right now when anyone has any technical question, first place we go is YouTube, right? So we do recognize the need of having a video interactivity into that. That's we also trying to showcase. In lots of those courses, we're using EON XR as a platform to deliver the training, to be interactive, to showcase that XR technology is to be blended into the learning process as well. So we have those experiences, we have those elements. So it's not purely follow, watch, and be passive with the hands closed, but it's very much being open, discuss. Also, we will have a regular monthly sessions, mentoring session, discussion session with the partners, with the students on some format as a part of the submission, as well as automated processes whenever necessary to provide instant information back. And to answer, there was also a question about the Unreal and Unity, right? And in this case, we recognize that the market currently today, people will say, oh, the major one is Unity and Unreal. In 5 years' time, there might be totally different format. So what we concentrate on is a skill set. We will, same like we're using EON as an example of a company. Example, when the things can go better, not some improvements needed into the processes, into the implementation of the metaverse. Same way we're going to use Unity in this case as an example of that. Though it doesn't mean the same components cannot be used in your organization, and we are happy to work alongside to find how those version controls and software development elements apply to the Unreal or other engines. Absolutely. And going into the aspects of achievement, right? So that's important, and we recognize that the success of this course will be measured by the success of its graduate. And by that, we believe that the people should be proud what they do, and we would like to be proud with them. We will provide our own certification. But same as my colleagues mentioned, it isn't only EON provides, it's also partnership format. So in that case, this is a beginning in a way for many of us in this program. So I'm already asking for help, your help, as a partners of EON Reality, partners in this Metaverse knowledge programs, to support us. We're happy to do the co-branded program. We're happy to find the alignment of this within your existing format. We will provide our certificate of completion for every batch, for every cohort. It is designed to be taking as long as there is a partnership, of course, but we're happy to build up the co-ownership of this format in your region, in your organization. And cross-link that. And maybe last but not least, before we're going to go on to this element, is a project-based learning. Very important concept, and concept that, frankly speaking, we're still going to be finalizing, because it's always going to be depending on the region, on the type, on the amount of the students. I mean, when I was asking myself how many students should attend per each cohort, I kind of think it should be up to 100, maybe 150 per cohort online. Of course, if there will be less, then we can work a little bit differently. Yeah, there will be more collaborative elements as well, but that's open question. But in the same thing is, when we will choose those candidates, you're going to choose those candidates because we will help you with that. It's about the project-based learning. We will be formatting it together. Either the internship, similar internship format within the EON's Reality, within your partner organizations, within your local companies, when we will do the cross-regional support. We have teams around the world to support this. And we will be also looking for different opportunities at EON Reality to shadow in those three sectors, as it was mentioned: business, product development, and customer success. And we want to be sure that the students have something to build up their portfolio. That is also why the capstone presentation and ability also to be mentored and supported by us with an existing experience on the existing courses within this journey, because that's a kind of a journey that we're going. So what's next in this case? The next is, of course, if you're interested, that we are very happy and we're looking forward to work with you directly on on more close basis. For that, we have if you're on this meeting, you're most likely eligible. To check that also for eligibility, please contact your local business development person or sales department from EON Reality or the representatives. On the other hand, we will be in a week on our regular implementation meeting. As a customer success department, we will discuss those elements and implementing Metaverse Academy within the existing collaboration formats. If you have any questions, our team will be happy to answer those questions. Of course, we're looking onto the chat messages right now, questions here, but also don't hesitate to email academy@eonreality.com. Rena, Brita, myself, we're going to be receiving and targeting those emails to the right people who can answer your questions, more specific questions as well. And we will be, when we go to that process, the way we deliver it, we provide you links, we provide you access, and your help will be needed in deploying it among the students, deciding who, when should be happening. Our role will be as a guidance and the material provider and also facilitator of some of the activities there, and a regular review, assessment, and certification. So that is what we are seeing as a next step here. And with that, with still a few minutes to answer the questions, and I want to say thank you to all the team that's been involved into this program already. I'm looking forward to team to grow, and we can have a little bit more conversation also about, is this metaverse actually something that's going to kick off? Yes, or is it just a temporary basis? And how does the metaverse actually is understand or is interpreted right now by the business and by the education? Right, I'm just browsing if there are any questions.
GitHub link.
We do not for those materials. If you're looking for the materials that we have right now, we will be using Git technology in regards to some of the materials in the training related to the software development. There will be that will be mentioned both from the point of view of a version control as well as from point of view of sharing the experiences and assessment. So that's for sure. Any comments, please? Did I miss something, guys? Probably many things, right? All right, so I see we still have some questions, general comments. Thank you very much, guys. So, Rena.
Yes.
Do you think the Metaverse Academy will be adapted quicker by the business or by the universities?
That's a really good question. I mean, the Metaverse Academy, I really think universities are already trying to figure out like how to incorporate new programs, new certificate programs, both at the undergraduate and graduate level. I know already out here in the US, they're developing programs, certificate programs in the 2-year schools. And so, but on the other hand, the training is already available in industry because they're already offering Metaverse specialties. Deloitte is a big company that I just saw today doing that. So maybe it's simultaneous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm kind of wondering as well, because lots of things depends on those companies which will provide the hardware, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you know, it's developed the hardware, and the hardware, as we know, is changing with the glasses and everything. So and that's an evolution just going to be in 2022. So, but I mean, everybody has a phone. And so right now, and I think that might even be a misconception. I mean, not here, but outside, like you can just use your phone and get started. And so it's, you know, really available to everybody right now.
So I think it's also worth to mention that within a little bit of advert, guys, that the EON is a agnostic approach to the hardware, right? So in that case, it's also giving that ability. And then we also have to learn and follow what's going on. Jamie, do you think vocational or training will be the one that benefits the most? Or do you think it's also a place for the innovation in the social studies?
I think all of the above, actually. It comes down to how creative you are with how you see the metaverse fitting into your programs. But I think that the metaverse provides a lot of opportunities to do technical training in ways that we couldn't before with online education specifically. but it also allows us to take students to places we can't physically travel to any longer for various reasons. And so to the history side, to the social sides, all the social elements that are part of it, I think it has a very direct application to both worlds. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And
I have a last question to John before we finish this. I mean, how do you think our customers should be adapting to the metaverse within what we have so far? So what do you think we could help them from the customer perspective in the first place?
Absolutely. I think having worked with a lot of different institutions, different programs, I've kind of seen some common threads that we don't have to create something new. We can use what you already have, the courses that you are working with. And this technology, what it does, opens up so many possibilities. And I've seen this kind of move towards situation-based learning. When we have 360 images, we have now environments, 3D models. We can put the learner in these situations and have them explore and discover concepts. Put this into the students' hands and have them explore different content areas and getting that element of creation as part of the learning process, having students create content, teachers create content, and that teacher-student collaboration is going to be so much more in sync with these metaverse experiences. So I'm really excited to see where this goes, but I'm really encouraged from what I've seen from different institutions and the creativity that's brought to these educator courses and in terms of creating new lessons and experiences. So really looking forward to what's ahead.
Thank you. I think we're all excited. So with that, I want to say thank you very much, everyone who participated, and stay tuned for the next steps. We are here to work as a partners with you, and thank you very much for today, and let's stay in touch. Bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.